I can't really even explain it. Not something I had been looking for or searching for, and I know everybody tends to say that when they get a new job, but I really am quite content here and have been quite content here. But got a phone call and said they were going to be focusing on implementation of a downtown master plan, and that was very exciting to me. I looked at the plan, and it is very aggressive, very bold, and the city is very committed to really remaking that part of the city. For better or worse, I'm a glutton for challenges and big projects. That was attractive. Obviously, the administrative position gives me some more authority and responsibility over all of the city departments that would have a role in that. So I couldn't say no. We had a couple of conversations, and I think 13 days after I met the city manager for the first time, he asked me if I wanted the job.
So over the upcoming years, as we see the transformation of the area, I guess that's around the old pavilion and all that stuff, you're going to have a hand in all that.
I will. It's this business is interesting, and what happens in Myrtle Beach is going to be very similar to what happens here. The folks that really deserve the credit for the work are generally long gone before you ever see the results of that activity. Mm-hmm. We have worked hard here for the last 6 or 7 years in creating a competitive environment, creating products. So the Penny Royal Park is a big part of that, creating the relationships, telling the story, continuing to tell the story, until folks finally pay attention, and we're just now beginning to see the fruits of a lot of that labor. I think we had an agenda item Tuesday night where we will have a contract, or we have a contract on our spec building in Andrews. We're about to close on the sale of 40 acres in that park. We're about to move ahead with infrastructure investment in the Penny Royal site. Got some other things out there bubbling under the surface. So we're really just now starting to peak. But Myrtle Beach is a little further along than that. Mm-hmm. So when I step in there, I'm going to be able to manage a process that is already well underway.
What are you most proud of? There's been a lot of things happen over your tenure. What are you most proud of?
I think we are a much more competitive place now than we were 7, 8 years ago. We are positioned better. Our reputation around the state is better, I think you talk to developers, you talk to industrial real estate folks, they know where Georgetown is, they know what we're good at, they know what we're trying to attract. You talk to our partners at the state level, and they are high on Georgetown. So there's not a singular point in time where I could look at that particular thing and say that's my crowning achievement, or that's the thing I'm most proud of. It's just the overall shift in momentum.
Was the Penny Royal track that's going to be, the business park, Penny Royal Business Park, was that your hardest thing to get past? I know
sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but you got it passed.
Yeah.
When will we see something there? When will people start to see, okay, yeah, it was worth it?
Yeah, this business is a long-term process. You look at our industrial park in Andrews. That process, I think that project dates back to 1997, 1998, when that officially got kicked off. Up until right now, today, we only have 2 businesses in that park. But come this time next year, we'll likely have 4 businesses in that park and the 5th underway. So it takes a long time. Now, that said, I expect this time next year you'll also be seeing an entryway cut into the property. You'll see infrastructure being invested and constructed in that property, and you will be able to see some activity. But again, if you go back, I went through not too long ago and looked. The first time I have a record of me being aware of that site was in 2015. I started in 2014. Shortly thereafter, we started studying that site, investigating that site, talking to the prior owners of the site about would they sell it to us. We've talked to half a dozen engineers, half a dozen different consultants, half a dozen different state agencies about the viability and attractiveness of that site. And so yes, the hardest thing I've done is bring that site to where it is today. And it will be another 6 or 7 year commitment before you really look at it and go, that's the thing.
Now let me ask you about your other hat that some people might not know about, unless they know you personally, and you do a lot of missionary work.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I have done some missionary work.
But do you think with your new position in Myrtle Beach you'll have time to do as much of that?
I think life's about choices, and life's about prioritizing what matters. So I think if it's important to me now, it's going to be important to me then.
And what kind of missionary work do you do?
We've gone on a couple of family mission trips. Actually, we've done that. But I'm more involved in our church in Merle's Inlet than I am in mission work. But our faith as a family and as a person is extraordinarily important to me. And that's always going to be very important to me. That allows me to get through some of the craziness and some of the stuff that just doesn't seem to make sense in the chaos of the world around us. Having a grounded faith and a grounded purpose, helps everything else just sort of settle out and be background noise.